All right, we're going to take a look at how to solve this equation using the quadratic formula. Now, yes, this equation can be factored, but we're not going to do it that way right now. We're going to use the quadratic formula. Now, to get started, we need to find out what A, B, and C are. The form of the equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now notice that the coefficient of x squared is a. So right here, that is a. So we have a 4 for a. And notice that the number by itself is negative 49. That's the c. So that's negative 49. And notice that there is no other term. The x term isn't there. And because it's not there, we know that it's a 0x because 0 would have made it disappear. So we know that our b is 0. So we have our three numbers. So let's write our equation. We have x equals negative b. Now negative b would be negative 0. There's no such thing as negative 0. That's going to turn into just a 0 plus or minus square root of b squared. Now b squared is again 0, so 0 squared minus 4 times a times c. So 4 times 4 times negative 49. Okay, that's our a and c. All over 2 times a, and our a is 4. So that's our equation right now. Now, again, I like to take the discriminant out. The discriminant, again, is the expression inside the square root. I like to take it out and work on it on the side. So here I have the discriminant written down, and I'm going to simplify it. 0 squared is 0, and negative times negative, you see how we have two negatives? That's going to become a positive. And then I need to figure out what 4 times 49 is. And that is 784. So my answer is 784 because 0 plus 784 is 784. So this is my discriminant. This is 784 is my discriminant. And I'm going to put that back into the equation. So x equals, now negative 0 is just 0, plus or minus square root of 784, all over, now 2 times 4, we have 8. Okay, now I'm going to break this up. And I have 0 plus, now find the square root of 784. I believe it's a perfect square. So that is 28 over 8, and that equals 28 over 8, and that is roughly, that's 3.5. And the other one, we have 0 minus 28 over 8, which is negative 28 over 8, and that's negative 3.5. Okay, so our two answers are x equals positive 3.5 and x equals negative 3.5. Okay, so now if we were factoring, and you look really closely at it, this is a difference of perfect squares. Okay, both of these are perfect squares. So we would make two parentheses equals 0, square root of 4x squared, square root of 4 is 2, square root of x squared is x. And then remember, we put a plus, we put a minus, and then we have a 7 and a minus 7. Then we do 2x plus 7 equals 0, 2x minus 7 equals 0, and then we solve. So here I have minus 7 on each side, 2x equals negative 7, divide by 2, and x equals negative 7 over 2, which coincidentally is the same thing as negative 3.5. Now, If I do the same thing here, notice I'm just going to do the opposite. I'm going to add 7 to each side. So I'm going to get 2x equals 7. So x equals 7 over 2, or x equals positive 3.5. So notice we get the same answers that we got there. And again, why would we do the quadratic formula instead? Several reasons. Number one, you can't always factor. And number two, it works with everything. So you don't have to think about if you have quite difference of perfect squares, or if you have a trinomial. You don't have to know what you have. You just do the quadratic formula, it'll find the answer for you. So anyway, I want to go to Desmos really quick, and just to show you that this does work. So I have 4x squared minus 49 equals y. Let's take a look at the x-intercept. Notice we have negative 3.5 and positive 3.5.